guys, how you doing? So I said on Instagram if you had any hair related questions to ask me. Tigress is here, that's why you may hear her meow in the background. You left some questions for me, so I'm going to try and answer them the best way possible. I am not a hair expert, I'm not qualified in hair, but I seem to be the house hairdresser. I do a lot of my friends' hair. I've been doing hair for quite a long time actually. I've always been natural. I've learned quite a lot of information to do with natural hair over the past 4 years, and I feel like I have a great general knowledge when it comes to natural hair, so I feel like I can kind of answer these questions for you. This makeup look, I'm feeling a bit weird right now. I don't wear makeup, I don't wear full face of makeup. All you'll ever see me wear is lipstick and mascara, that's all I do. And this is kind of just a basic look I got done for some work I was doing today. So yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I've never ever liked wearing makeup, I just feel like it's not me. But anyway, on to the questions. The first one was, what products would you recommend for a good twist out? Any tips to get nice definition? I don't do well with twist outs. I have never had a successful twist out, okay? I've tried on blown out hair, on my hair in its natural state, and I've never achieved a fabulous twist out, and I've come to terms with it now. It used to bother me, but I've come to terms with it. Twist outs are just not for me. I would say, from what I've learned from watching, trying to get the best advice for myself in twist outs, is to do them on wet hair and to use a very moisturizing product and a good leave-in conditioner. So you need a good leave-in conditioner and a moisturizing product. Also, gel can be a great factor for definition as well. So I would say those 3 ingredients, or say 3 products, are what you would generally need for a twist out. There are tons of videos on YouTube, I've watched probably all of them, of how to achieve a twist out, but for me it's just never really worked, so I've just given up on it. But I would say it's all down to trial and error when it comes to product combinations and technique, and I think a lot of it's got to do with technique. But like I said, YouTube is a great source for that, so search away, spend like an hour on YouTube and just make notes and try it out for yourself. The next question, which products would you recommend to comb after washing that gives your hair a sleek look? Okay, I don't know if that was written incorrectly. I think it may mean, I don't know. If you know the answer to that, you leave that down below, because I didn't understand that question, sorry. How often do you recommend getting trims to control split ends and promote healthy growth? Trimming is one of those things that it all depends on the health of your hair in its current stage right now. If you trim your hair regularly, you will not have a lot of split ends. You will minimize the breakage. So regular trims are very important. I trim my hair whenever I feel like my ends are getting a bit rough, or it's been a couple months and I haven't trimmed. Some people say 6 to 8 weeks, some people say every month. I have learned that once every season, so once the weather changes, I feel it's a good time to kind of schedule a trim, because the season's going to change, the climate's going to change, and your hair's going to react differently to the environment. So I think it's like one of the best times to trim your hair. I would also say that if you wear your hair straight, like you use a lot of heat on your hair, to trim quite often as well, because the heat can leave you with really damaged ends sometimes, depending on how often you are straightening your hair. If you do not trim your hair, you are more prone to have breakage. Some people never ever trim their hair and it works for them, I don't know. But me personally, I couldn't go more than probably 2 months without a trim. I definitely need it. It promotes healthier ends. It does not promote hair growth, because when you think about it, if you're cutting your hair from the bottom, how does that relate to your scalp? That makes no sense. So it just helps to promote healthier ends, so your hair grows better. If you do not trim your hair will carry on splitting and splitting and splitting and go up the hair shaft, and that's how your hair snaps off and breaks off. So you need to make sure that you are trimming very, very regularly. Otherwise, you're going to have really damaged hair, and then you're going to have to cut more off than you wanted to in the first place. So trim should really only be ½ an inch every time, but all depending on how well you look after your hair, it could be more depending on how damaged your ends are. What is a really good moisturizer that won't leave my curls or ends dry? Moisturizers are products where the first ingredient is water. If the first ingredient is not water, then it does not moisturize your hair, because water is the best moisturizer for natural afro hair. So you need to make sure the first ingredient is either water or aqua or H2O. If it's none of those three, then that product is not going to moisturize your hair. A lot of people think that oils moisturize your hair. They do not. They seal the moisture in. So in order for you to use an oil, you need to put some kind of water-based product in first. I use what do I use? The Curl Enhancing Smoothie from Shea Moisture is a good moisturizer. Most of the time I just dampen my hair and then I add sealant. I don't really use a lot of moisturizing creams and stuff because I feel like it weighs my hair down a lot. But there are some great creams out there, some butter creams. Keri K has a butter cream. Curls have a curl souffle, which is really good. I don't really use a lot of moisturizers. Oh, Entwine Control has a good one. And I think they're the only ones that I've really tried like on a regular basis and had great results with. But other than that, I don't really purchase moisturizers because I would rather dampen my hair and then seal the moisture in that way. I don't regularly do the moisturizer thing, but I used to, but not anymore because I just felt like it just weighed my hair down too much and I like my hair to be big and fluffy, so I don't use a lot of moisturizers. This just says sore scalp, no hair loss, just tender areas. If you're having like sore scalp issues or having general scalp issues, go and see a dermatologist or a trichologist because there are a lot of scalp issues that happen that we're not aware of. I learned a lot about scalp issues last year being on the Natural Hair Tour, and there was a lady there who's a trichologist explaining different scalp diseases and bacterial infections you can have. And some of the blogger events I've been to, a lot of them have spoken about there's a common scalp issue that afro hair has, and a lot of people don't recognize it. They just think it's dry scalp, but it's actually like a bacterial infection. So I would say seek a dermatologist or a trichologist. There's no shame in your game. At the end of the day, if you want your hair to be healthy and grow healthy, your scalp has to be in the best health as possible. So make sure that you seek advice. If it's not that serious, it's just little areas, I would say just be careful how you're applying your products and how you're shampooing, like making sure you're using the fingertips of your hands, not your nails, the fingertips, the pads of your fingers, and just gently smooth your hair when you're washing your hair. Or you can use a brush. I've been using like a massage brush. I'm going to do a review on it very soon on my scalp to help exfoliate my scalp and to help massage and shampoo, and it's really working for me. So maybe it could be the way that you're shampooing your hair, the way that you're using your hands, or you have some kind of infection, and I would say go seek advice because you never know what could actually be happening in your scalp unless you really go and find out. So that's one thing I would advise everybody to do. If you have any kind of scalp issues that continue no matter what you're using, then go and seek advice. How do you get naturally straight coarse hair to be soft and curly? Okay, if you have naturally straight coarse hair, you can't get it curly unless you're gonna use heat or rollers or tongs or something like that. I think what this person may mean is they have relaxed hair, because some people, I know this sounds a bit weird to some people, but some people grew up thinking their hair was naturally straight because they have had it relaxed for so long since they were young, so they never actually knew their hair was like a natural texture. So some people believe their hair is naturally straight. It may sound weird to you, but I've met people who've had that experience. So this may be somebody who's experiencing that. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But if your hair is naturally straight, like you've never had a relaxer or any kind of chemical on it, then the only thing you can really do is use some kind of appliance like a tongs or a straightener to get the curls in your hair, or rollers or flexi rods or curl formers to achieve heatless curls. But if your hair is texturized or relaxed and you want to go back to natural, go back to what you feel your hair texture originally is, then you need to transition, which means you grow out your natural hair and you slowly cut off the straight ends, or you do a big chop, which means you cut off all your relaxed hair and you start again. For some people, big chops are taking off all of their hair. For some people, big chops is just taking off the relaxed ends. Everybody has their own kind of definition, but what I believe it to be is that you're taking off all of your relaxed hair and you're starting afresh, and then you're going to grow out the natural hair from your scalp. So if you feel that's where you are and that's what you mean, and that's what I would advise you to do. So you can either transition or big chop. Transitioning can be for as long as you choose it to be. There is no kind of time period. Some people have transitioned over 2 or 3 years. Some people transitioned for like 6 or 8 months. It all comes down to what their personal preference was. Some people, they transition for a small amount of time because they just couldn't deal with the 2 textures and they just end up cutting it off. So it all comes down to what your patience level is like, because friends that I have that are currently transitioning, it takes a lot of patience. My mum is currently transitioning and it does take a lot of patience, and you have to be able to deal with 2 textures in your hair. So if you know you're not going to have that patience, I would say either do the big chop, or you could go down the protective style route and wear wigs and weaves. You just have to find a way to make it work for you. I'm going to do a video with some of my friends who are transitioning, so we can kind of talk about some advice and help with some tips for those of you who are transitioning, because I've never personally did it, so I can't talk about my experience, but I'm going to share with you some of my friends' experiences who are currently transitioning. It's the best way to keep the shine on natural hair. Okay, natural afro hair does not have a natural shine. It does not have a natural shine. Our hair absorbs the light, it doesn't reflect it. So we don't have a natural shine which you would see with Caucasian hair, where their hair's straighter and it just shines naturally, or Asian hair. We don't have that in our hair. Our hair absorbs the light, it doesn't reflect it out. So when you straighten your hair, the bonds of your hair have changed, so that's why you seem to get more of a shiny effect. People feel like if you put oils in your hair, it gives you a shine. It's more so the light reflecting off of the oil, it's not reflecting off of your hair. So you putting tons and tons of oil in your hair makes no difference to your hair. It's just gonna make it oily and greasy. So there's no point really adding unnecessary oils to your hair just to make it shiny. I don't really see the point of that. You can achieve shine from if you use gels, because gels have that hardened cast with them, so they reflect the light. But naturally, I feel that afro hair doesn't have a shine, and that's not a bad thing. It's just the way that our hair is. It doesn't do things like that, and I feel like some people try to achieve things or want to achieve things that our hair doesn't naturally do. You just have to love and learn the hair for what it is. If you have a shine to your hair, it could be down to the actual texture of your hair. Some people who have natural afro hair, their hair is not really an afro texture. It's more of a, I would say, a Caucasian texture, but it's just curly, so their strands are more silkier. So that's why it seems like they reflect more light on their hair. And then people who have like a coarser texture hair, the light just absorbs into their hair, so there is no shine whatsoever. That's just the difference in textures of hair. It may appear the same texture, like curl pattern, but texture and curl pattern is completely different. So it just could be down to that. So I would say if you have a natural shine to your hair and you no longer have it, that could be down to the health of your hair, if you're doing regular treatments, how you're treating your hair. But if you've never had a natural shine to your hair, you're never going to get it, because it just doesn't happen like that with natural afro hair. What products do you recommend? Shampoos, deep conditioners, leave-in creams, oils, for those who have a limited budget. Okay, if you have a limited budget and you want to be real cheap like me, I'm cheap and frugal. I don't buy things more than I can afford. I've never done that when it comes to hair products. Afford to buy the whole line of a product, like a whole product line, then get the basics: a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in conditioner, and an oil. They're the 4 kind of basics you need for your hair regimen, routine, or whatever it is, or your little stash. They're the 4 things that you need. I tend to buy more generic brand shampoos when I was really buying products for cheap. So like Herbal Essence, Tresemme, those shampoos are like £2 or £3. They're very cheap and they are good at what they do. So you can get the shampoo, the conditioner, they have deals for like 2 for £3 or whatever. You can get both of those at the same time. And then you may spend a bit more money on the leave-in conditioners in the afro hair section, or wherever you purchase your products from. Or if it's an afro hair shop, then they have everything in there. You can go buy it at one time. But when it comes to afro hair, if you're new at it, you are going to spend quite a bit of money experimenting, because that's just how it is. It's trial and error. What works for me may not work for you. But with saying that, I have over 40 product reviews on this channel that you can check out to see how they work for me if you're interested. But it's all about trial and error and just having fun with it and playing around. And if you can't afford the big products that you see people talking about, don't break your bank for it. It's just not worth it. Go with things that are within your budget, within your means. So set a budget for yourself every month that you're going to spend on products. So if that's like £20, and then buy products that you feel you need, not things that you feel you want. Because a lot of people go on YouTube, they find these products, they go out and buy it, and they hate it just because they've seen what someone else has used. Sit down, do the reviews, see what everyone's saying, and then go and purchase it. Don't purchase it and then watch the reviews. That makes no sense. Find the reviews first, and then if you're persuaded, go and buy the product. I see a lot of people buy the product and then ask people, have you tried it? And it's like, well, why did you do that before? So try and do it the other way around, watch the reviews, and then decide whether you're going to purchase it or not. It saves a lot of time and it saves a lot of money as well. The last question: do you use hair vitamins such as Hair Affinity, Hair Throw, Moisturizing and Miel? I don't use hair vitamins. I've done a whole video on them. Okay, I will link that down below. You can watch why I don't use hair vitamins and why I don't believe in them. I do believe that vitamins do work to a certain extent. They replace the vitamins that you're not getting in your current diet. If you're eating a very good diet and exercising regularly, vitamins will not increase your hair growth. Your hair has a predetermined length. It's not going to grow more than its predetermined length. So taking vitamins is not going to boost your hair growth. All it's going to do is replace the vitamins that you're currently not getting in your diet, and that's it. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes to hair growth. There's diet, exercise, genetics is a big part of it as well, climate, products, the way you use the products, maintenance. There's so many different factors. It's not just about products and that's it. A lot of people keep saying, what products do I need to make my hair grow? It's not about products. Products are probably like 10% of it. Products are for maintenance of your hair. They don't actually really do anything to growth. They just maintain your hair to promote healthy growth, but they don't encourage growth. They may encourage it to grow better or healthier, but they're not gonna make you go from chin length to foot length from now until next week. It's just not gonna happen. So when you see pictures of people on Instagram, one week they're from here and the next week they're from here, vitamins just replace the vitamins you're not currently getting in your diet. That's all they do. So if you're having a healthy diet and you're exercising regularly already, you would see your hair grow. It's just down to what you're currently doing, and we don't get the right vitamins in our diets as it is, no matter how healthy you are. It's just one of those things that, because the way food's manufactured these days and there's so many different factors that are in it, it's just very hard to get your daily vitamins in your food as it is. So people take supplements to add to that, but I don't take any supplements. I don't do any of that. I just try to eat healthy, and I hope that's what helps my hair grow. But other than that, there is no magic pill, there is no magic potion. Your hair is going to do what it wants to do. All you have to do is learn to love it and look after it. So I hope that has helped you, for those who ask questions about hair. If you have any more questions you'd like me to answer, leave them down below and I'll do another video answering them for you. Tuning in, make sure you click like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hey, how are you, how you doing, welcome. I'm gonna go wash this makeup off because it's just not my thing. I just felt so weird doing this, all this on my face. It just feels really odd. Yeah, so I'll speak to you soon. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.